So, good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon to everyone. And today we will concentrate on database architecture and the three schema architecture. So far, we have had a talk regarding to what is the database and how database is being happen and how what are the different aspects of database have been discussed. Today, we would like to have a small discussion regarding to database architecture. So two different types of database architectures are available. Of course, both are same. One is abstract view, and second one is detailed view. Let us consider the abstract view first, then followed by the detailed view. Okay, in abstract view, you can see so a database application. I mean, database will be always outermost layer of databases will be always so users only, and within that we do have many number of so components which are available with database. So those components are these that we consider. So this whole system will be considered as this whole system. This whole system is considered as a database system, and within this particular database system, users or programmers are able to write some number of programs or queries. More specifically speaking, queries actually it is not program. So queries, and these queries will be sent to so this application program interface. Okay, normally the application programs also be there, but they are also considered as queries here. So we do have one specific application programming language for databases, that is programming language for structured query language, PL/SQL. So PL/SQL is available, and this PL/SQL using this particular thing, you could able to write some number of so application programs. And SQL, structured query language, it is a non-procedural language which does have only single statement. Whatever the requirement you are expected, everything will be written with single statement, and that single statement will be submitted for execution. However, either these application programs or queries will be taken by this application program component. After this, it has been sent to actual database management system software, which is having huge number of subparts. I will let you illustrate in the next diagram, next slide, because it does have huge number of subparts are available in database software. So for time being, we like to consider. So here you can see. So it is going to evaluate or translate from SQL statement to machine code, and that could be submitted to so software which is being used to access the stored data. Stored data in the sense data will be actually stored at low-level devices. They are called as hard disks or data centers, or however data tapes, something like that. For retrieving such kind of data, so we are using some number of access paths. So writing all these access paths will be used some number of programs. All those programs are supposed to be combined together, called as access paths. So your so converted program has been transferred, otherwise forwarded to this software to access the stored data. So afterwards, it has been checked with whether whatever the table you are expected to have, whether that particular table is available within the metadata or not. Normally, it is called as metadata, but it's also be called as one more word for this particular thing is that word is data dictionary. So metadata is also called as a data dictionary. So it has been checked with the data dictionary whether so-called table or so-called operations will be available with your actual database, I mean with your user or not. If it is available, so it could be communicate with the store database and evaluate or retrieve the data from it, and it will be sent back to you. So this is overall abstract view actually. It is not a full view, it is abstract view. So in this way, the database architecture could be available. But as far as previous database features, previously we have discussed some database features. So their redundancy will be reduced and authorizations will be there and consistency will be improved. Many other issues have been discussed by us. So how they could be? They could be saved. Look at this. This is actual. This is the specific database structure which is being available. So broadly, so the users are broadly classified into three different types. Number one, programmers. Number two, end users. Number three, database administrators. Database administrators, the role of database administrator is very crucial in terms of database management systems. Of course, programmers also very crucial, but database administrator role is very crucial as far as databases are concerned. And similarly, how it is crucial for database management system. So end users also that much crucial. So programmers also no problem, but these two people are very important. Normally, application programs will be written by programmers on the database schema, on the database access paths, allocation of space, how much space is required for your specific table or specific database. Everything will be looking after by this database admin. And end users maybe ask some kind of questions to the database. So you may be asked whenever you may be search for some information through any any website, you may be asked some kind of question. So retrieve so-called data, something like that. So some queries will be written. All these things will be forwarded to query compiler. So here you could understand it has been forwarded to query compiler. It has been taken care about DDL, data definition language compiler, and this is taken care by data manipulation processor. These are three different types of components are there here. So all databases, all tables, all kind of issues will be created by only database administrator. Creation could not be done by any programmer or any user. Creation shall be always done by only database administrator. So that is why all DDL, data definition language commands are related to with this particular compiler. So it has been directly connected to only database admin. And any manipulation operations, any manipulation in the sense selection, insert a new row, and delete a row, update a row, some kind of operations will be done by application programmers so that DML operations will be took place here. And here query, whatever the query you may be, query in the sense most probable query is selection. Your end user is always interested to get the information from the database. Getting in the sense, so for example, if you consider nowadays people are using COVID-19india.org. That is the specific application website which is being going through by every Indian today. So thereby you could have some kind of information that how many COVID cases are there in Andhra Pradesh. If you click on Andhra Pradesh, it may be display something. You are very much curious that how many things are happen in Andhra Pradesh, how many things are be there with the Delhi, something like that. You are always curious to have the information, but not you don't have any specific opportunity to enter some kind of data into that particular thing. So that is why you may be always taken into consideration by you is only queries. I mean selection only. So everything will be done like this, and either it is a DML or queries or DDL, whatever it may be. So it has been sent to data dictionary, and one more name for data dictionary is catalog. Okay, there are many names: metadata, data dictionary, and the catalog. All these are same. So it has been sent to catalog, and this catalog will be checks whether whatever the requirement by the application programmer or by the user or by the database administrator, whether the so-called object is available with the database or not. If it is available, then that particular thing will be moved to data manager kind of database manager kind of application area. Otherwise, you may be get some kind of error message to you. Okay, and here, so as and when database manager or queries, I mean users or application programmers, whomever there, they must be enter into their own space by enter some kind of credentials such as username and password. Those username and passwords are being evaluated by authorization control module. This is the module which is used to maintain all authorization control regards with all kinds of users here. Once validate this authorization, then it will be whatever the data which has been received will be sent to command processor, and the command processor will be always checks that any constraints will be integrity checked, in the sense any constraints will be enforced on the data or not. Let you have some kind of discussion what is constraint and how the integrity checking will be done using any kind of so integrity constraints. Let us discuss each and everything very soon, probably within 2 to 3 classes. So that could be available or not. It is going to check something like that. If it is available, then based on the integrity checking, and it will be sent to query optimizer. Query optimizer in the sense, so if you want to get any kind of information from the database, so how fast you are supposed to get the data? What is the rate of so fastness to get the data from the database? That is the optimization which is going to be took place by so-called query optimizer. So if you are supposed to follow query optimizer, then it will be useful. Otherwise, query optimizer did not affect anymore on our specific thing. If you are applying so-called query, you are applying so-called operations in a scheduled manner, so they can be scheduled. Otherwise, directly they can be taken into consideration for execution. Transaction manager will be always directly executed, and a schedule in the sense it may be you may be operate some kind of schedule. So schedule in the sense, let me give you one specific example. For example, at 10:30, for example, this is just for example, at 10:30 a.m. So you are trying to send some amount to your friend. So you have to pass one particular statement, that is deduct some amount from my account and have to add some other same amount to my friend account. So that is the statement you have to took place by you. Similarly, one more person has did the same. One more person has did same. Money transaction will be took place by many people. So if scheduler will be activated, so it has been collected some a particular number of queries. After reaching so n number of queries, then only scheduler will be always activate to execute them. Previously, nowadays it could be very easy to transfer the data, transfer the money, but nowadays previously, if you transfer money to anybody, so it will take some time. Immediately they could not be processed. They will be take some time. What does it means? Batch by batch, so data will be received from several number of users or customers after reaching to some buffer level. So if buffer will be gets filled, then only the schedule, whatever the schedule it may be, it will be throws to execution. Otherwise, it would be wait for some time, something like that. So that is the specification here. If it is not there, directly transaction will be gets operated. Wait for a while, my internet is not. Yes, it is stable right now, no problem. Okay, so it could be accessed something like that. After that, if any problems are available, so problems in the sense many people are having some kind of problem while withdrawing money from the ATM. People may sometimes people make complain that yes, I have applied some kind of transaction for withdraw, but withdraw operation was done, but money has not been received by me. So what shall I do? So such kind of recoveries also be managed by this database management system. And this buffer is not related to any external operation. It is internal operation actually. And this buffer will be always looking forward for file manager, whatever the file, which table you are expected to have the data. So that particular file will be located by this file manager. So how this file manager will be work in the sense by taking the assistance of access method. So how fast you are access that particular file. Okay, so based on that, so your database will be get the data and send that particular data back to your user or database admin or the programmer. So these are different kinds of modules which are available with us. So you can see these are many as much as many number of modules which are available with our database management system. Okay, every component is interconnected, and every component might have its own identity to perform the operation. If any one of the component will be gets missed, obviously your database system cannot be worked out anymore. and you will be see almost all components in our practical sessions. You will see you could come across with not exactly compiler, but what are the DDL commands, what are DML commands, and how the program will be written by you. Are there any so authorization controls will be available? What are the files, I mean tables, which are involved in the catalog manager? What are the integrity checkers? And the command processor could not be seen by us. So do you have any query optimization? Any query optimization techniques are available or not? What are the so transaction management things are there with us or not? So you could not see schedulers. The schedulers cannot be seen by us. It is actually internal operation. Are there any recovery kind of operations are there? Yes, the recovery operations will be also taken care by us. Theoretically, we will study about this particular recovery. Practically, we could not see. So, and access methods, indices or cursors or something like that, access methods also be so point out through your during your practical sessions. So, whatever I have been tick out all those things here, all those things are supposed to be learned by you in nearer classes. Okay. So, this is what about the database architecture. So this is actually while if you want to use any kind of database, the database might have this kind of architecture. So these many number of components are there with your specific database here. Followed by, if you want to implement any database application at your company, at your office location, what is the premises you are supposed to follow? Of course, database architecture is not that much important as far as your examination point of view, but this question is very much important. This is also called as data abstraction, otherwise views of data, otherwise three schema architecture. So this architecture is different from this architecture, you know. So this is the actual, while this architecture is a default architecture in all database applications. In database applications, these are the components which are available. If you are a database admin, what exactly it could be done? If you are user, what exactly it could be done? So that the component, these are the different application programs which are combinedly used as database management system. But here, if your company wants to establish any database management system, database management information system, then what's supposed to you may be done? What exactly what's supposed to done? So this is very important question for you, and this question will be comes to you sometimes 16 marks or sometimes 8 marks. You must remember this one. A very simple, very easy question. So look at this. This three schema architecture does have the name itself indicates that so three schemas available or three levels are available: internal level or physical level, and then second one is this internal level is being connected with actual databases, actual physical databases, something like hard disk or something like magnetic tapes and so on and so forth. Whatever the data where exactly we are trying to store, so it has been connected to that. And conceptual level or logical level, this level is always to communicate with the database administrators, because the database administrator is always responsible to define the tables, to define the access paths, to define the roles and regulations or privileges to different kinds of users. So that is why conceptual level or logical level is the second level or middle level of this entire architecture. And last and final level is so external level. External level will be divided into several number of views: view 1, view 2, view 3, view 4, view 5, and so on, view n. As far as your application, so number of views are being defined here. And everything you can observe, everything is bidirectional. Every level of so integration is bidirectional. So you could take data from a database and forward to physical level, and from here to here, and from here to any one of the views it could be taken. I will give you a very good example, then you could understand very easily. And in between internal and conceptual, some mapping is being took place, and in between the conceptual and external, so some other mapping will be took place here. Let me give you a small example. So normally, so internal level, this internal level is always concentrates on how the data can be stored. You can see how the data can be stored and what are the different storage elements which are available with you in your databases, and then what are the storage allocation schemes for data which are available with your database, and what are the access paths, how fast you are supposed to access the data from the databases. These three responsibilities will be took place by the internal level or physical level here, low level here. So actually, this level will be always specifies all data centers which are available for one particular application. Let me consider NIC. NIC in the sense National Informatics Center. National Informatics Center does maintain so huge amount of data across the country. If you are supposed to specify your Aadhaar number, that Aadhaar number is always trying to communicate with the NIC. So odai.nic.in. So gov.in. Sorry, gov.in. So that could be the NIC, National Information Center. Similarly, if your attendance, biometric attendance, it's also be communicate with NIC, and many other NICs are available here for our kind of purpose. So all those things will be data centers, and these data centers will be have a facility to define what kind of storage area you are supposed to use and what are the access paths you are supposed to implement over there. All those things will be available with the physical level. And at logical level or otherwise a conceptual level, what are the roles and responsibilities of this particular level is. So this level is used to designing of the databases. So what is the structure of the database, how the database will be gets designed, and followed by what are the relationships between one database to another database or one table to another table, and are there any security aspects which we have enforced, otherwise constraints on data items which are enforced by so-called databases, and are there any specific items which are used to maintain that particular data, and everything will be defined by this particular thing. You need to understand one thing: whatever the physical level aspects, these aspects could not be known to logical level. Logical level aspects could not be known to actional level. That is what you need to understand. And the logical level is maintained by, as I just give some information regarding the logical level, it has been maintained by the database administrator. These are the people who are allocating space for users, not exactly for data, for users. What is the quota of space which you are supposed to use for your database or your work will be defined by database administrators. And followed by external level, these external levels will be, so as far as one particular view, how much amount of data will be required by you that could be supplied, not exactly all. I'll give you one example after completion of this one. Then followed by if a data for user will be accessed from the database, so that database will be taken care by database administrator. He will be provide each and everything to the particular view or particular user. Okay, then these people could not be known. So what are the access paths which have been defined on the databases, and what are the structures of that particular database, and what are the security aspects which have been implemented on database. These are not aware of these views here. So let me give you one specific example, then you could understand very easily. Example is, if you consider in a banking information system, SBI, let me say, so SBI is maintaining its data center at Mumbai. So this particular thing has been available. I mean, internal schema and database has been available at Mumbai. Everything is at Mumbai, and so nobody will be accepted to access this particular data directly. And this particular data center will be always managed by logical level, and the logical level will be taken care by this database administrator. Then what is the view? If you consider one branch of so-called SBI, so there are several number of venues will be there in the branch. One of them will be considered as deposits. Second one is teller. Third one is manager. Fourth one is assistant manager. Fifth one is authorization department. Many number of things are available with you. So teller will be always looking forward that how much amount of money you want to withdraw. That could be taken care. and remaining all other operations could not be done by teller. Deposits in the sense he is taking money from you and that amount will be deposited to your account. He would not go for other operations, only deposit operations. If you go ahead with loans, he may be contact with only loans information, whether it is gold loan or personal loan or any other. He may not consider what exactly so-called teller information or authorization information. These are not taken care by that particular fellow. So view will be always disseminated several number of operations among several people. Okay, so if you understand this one, okay. Otherwise, I'll give one more example. If you consider our college information system, in college information system, one particular student have many different kinds of operations. First one is admission. Admission will be taken by one particular person, and the scholarships will be taken by another person. So if scholarship person will be taking care by scholarships in the sense he is no way concerned with admission system. He is no way concerned with attendance. He is no way concerned with examination. He is only looking forward for only scholarship. So whether you are eligible for scholarship or not, if you are eligible, they will call you and submit everything, and everything will be done online. So that information could be done by this particular person. No other information will be done. And attendance will be taken care by some other person, and the examination system is taken care by some other person. If you consider examination system person, this person is not aware of what exactly kind of operations will be happened at the admission system. It doesn't know by this particular examination person. Otherwise, attendance, if you consider attendance person could not be known what exactly being done by scholarship person, or what exactly being done by admission system, or what exactly being done by the examination system. These things are not known by this particular person. Of course, out of academic interest, he may be have some kind of idea regarding to that particular thing out of academic interest. But as far as the system is being concerned, that system could not give any information regarding to admission when you are working with attendance. That system is not supposed to allow you to see what is scholarship when you are working with attendance. So that is the view here. View in the sense it is view one will be done one specific operation, view two will be done another specific operation, view n will be done another specific operation. So whatever the operation will be done by view n, it could not be so viewed by or retrieved by any other views, other people. So that is what the specification here. So in this way, the three schema architecture. So if you want to define or design any database system in your information system, you have to follow this particular architecture. You must be follow this particular architecture. So what is the meaning of this particular mapping here in the sense, while mapping is being done, so this mapping could be allow you to communicate with each other, okay, to communicate with each other based on the specific constraints. Look at this. So this particular person, for example, this particular person is responsible for only examination system. So this mapping will be always looking forward and retrieve the data from this particular database to view one on only examinations, but not any other. So he could not able to see the admission information, could not be. So mapping could not be done in such a way. Mapping will be always, privileges will be, privileges in the sense, access paths will be always defined in a proper manner by using that particular mapping. Of course, mapping also some set of programs only, they will be done in a specific order. So this is what about the complete information today. If any questions, may post to me, I will respond for you. Okay. So this is what. So after completion of after